Hey everyone, welcome to another Good e-Reader review video. My name is Michael.
My name's Peter.
Today we have the Nook Glowlight Plus.
Yeah.
This is the first e-reader that Barnes & Noble's released since like 2013.
Yeah, and it's a rather nice looking device. It doesn't look like one of those kind of cookie cutter black devices like the Kobo Touch, the Kindle, and whatnot. So
yeah, it's the design principles are very interesting, and we'll show you what we mean in a moment.
Yeah.
First, let's just give you some specs. It's an e-ink Carta screen. It's capacitive. It has a resolution of 1430 by 1080 at 300 ppi. The e-reader is also waterproof, similar to the Kobo Aura H2O, which means it's IP67 certified. You can leave it submerged in fresh water for up to 30 minutes at a maximum depth of 1 meter. It has a 1 gigahertz processor. I heard it has 2 gigs of RAM, but Barnes & Noble really hasn't said anything definitively. It has actually 4 gigs of memory. 2 gigs are reserved for Nook purchases, so things that you buy from Barnes & Noble, and you have 2 gigs for side-loaded content, and which is really good because with the e-reader that Barnes & Noble released in 2013, it was only 512 MB
Right.
reserved for user-based storage. So they basically jacked it up so you could load in your own PDFs, your own ebooks, and things like that.
Oh, and all your apps and games and videos, right?
No, it's an e-reader, Peter.
You know what else is waterproof? Dun, 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 dun. We should do a waterproof test right now with the e-reader, my phone, and your phone, Mike.
Yeah, no.
Your iPhone 6 Plus.
Let's give you the 360.
All right, so this is the front of the device. It kind of has 2 bezels going on. It has the inner bezel that is this kind of cross-hatchy X'd design. Then it has an outer bezel right here. This wraps around all the way to the back, which is in fact some sort of metal composite, and I'm not sure if it's magnesium like the Kindle Voyage or aluminum or what the actual composition of the metal is, but it is some sort of metal. You have a Nook kind of boxed logo there with a different material on the inside, micro USB on the bottom, power button on the left, nothing on the top and the side, and you have a capacitive, hardware-driven, soft touch Nook home button on the bezel.
So the e-reader is much akin in the respects of the UI as former Nook e-readers. So the menus in the same place. You have the library. This is where all of your content is housed. So you could filter by everything, books, magazines, newspapers. The e-ink Carta screen makes scrolling and things loading really fast. Some e-reader companies do like a carousel, but I kind of feel like this is a good design decision to take advantage of the e-ink screen. Let's just take a look at like your average ebook, just so you can see like what the product descriptions and stuff look like. So customers also bought, reviews, starred ratings.
Kind of like the way Kobo does it all on one screen, but this is alright.
A Nook Readouts is a way that they give you like author interviews, they give you like sort of previews of new titles coming out. It feels kind of bloggy. But authors do give like interviews and like exclusive reveals of new titles that they're working on. You can click edit and then you can filter out by genres. So everything is highlighted by default, but you could just click on the things that you want and remove the things that you don't. So if I don't want romance showing up, click save. I kind of want to focus on the library for a second here. You can make like custom shelves. And this is a good time to point out the keyboard.
It is. It's a very good layout. Unlike Kobo, where they put the Q and the A on top of each other, the WS, etc., etc., they go to the traditional staggered QWERTY keyboard layout, which is very nice. It's not confusing to utilize. The touching on the Nook is definitely the weakest of all the three major brands, Barnes & Noble, Amazon, Kobo. It is the least responsive. As you type really quickly, it will start to skip letters, play catch up, and simply just not recognize certain things. Page turns are either swipe or single tap. You can bookmark by tapping the top corner. See, it always takes a couple times to do anything on this device. Honestly, like every time we try to touch the bottom button, the back button, the save button, it always ends up just not recognizing the first time.
Yeah.
So we'll do a long press. So this allows us to do a couple things. We got notes. Now, I don't like how it takes away from the book and goes to a separate note screen. That's a little bit...
Rather than just having like a little note field.
A little bit annoying. Yeah. So it's nice that they really show you there's a note there.
Yeah.
We'll click on something else. And that, I didn't know what that was at first. This was highlight. That didn't really say to me highlight because every other guy has a little highlighter.
Yeah.
Weird. Share is only to Facebook. So it'll only be shared to Facebook. You can log into your Facebook credentials. See, I did it again. I had to press X twice.
Yeah.
Every other time I have to do something twice. We have A to Z. That's your dictionary lookup. So you can look up what the word ask means. And the final thing here is search. But it won't be search Wikipedia, search Google, search whatever like most e-readers do. It'll just be search the book.
Yeah, so any reference to the word warehouse will appear.
So we'll press the double A button. This allows us to do text augmentation. Everything changes live, so that's nice. You can raise the font size, change the font style. You can choose the margins, really thin, edge to edge, line spacing really wide, line spacing really tight. And if you're all muddled and confused, you can just click the publisher's defaults, and that'll just change it back to the way it is meant to be read.
So here you can, you can sort of do some of the things that you do when you long press. Find in book specific phrases.
Yeah.
But one thing here is new is sort of view details. So you could find out more about this book. Sort of like the same sort of book entry in a store, editorial reviews, star ratings, and things like that. If you are in a home screen or jumping across, various things that you do here, what you're most recently reading, you can just click on that on the top corner, and it will automatically take you there.
You got it. So we'll go to a page with text and imagery. So like this one. So what everybody wants to do on a PDF is pinch and zoom. There is no pinch and zoom capabilities on this e-reader whatsoever. There's no pinch, even if you let it wait. If you do a double tap to quick zoom, there's no way to get it any bigger than what it is. You can, however, do a couple things here. If you long press, emphasis on the word long, that took 4 seconds, you can do all the same things you can do in a e-book on here. Everything's short of sharing, so you can make highlights, notes, what have you. Which
would be good if you're like a student and you're sort of like looking at a textbook or you're making notes. This is a good e-reader to be able to sort of casually do it.
Which would be good if you could zoom in on what you're long pressing on.
Yeah, well, I mean,
it's like...
This is a very comprehensive book.
Yeah.
Like a lot of basic PDFs are like newspapers or magazines that people like download from the internet or manga and things like that. But not being able to
zoom in,
pinch and zoom in any way kind of sucks.
It does, because I mean, sure, there are PDFs that work just fine by the naked eye, but I can't read this.
There is a few things, sort of hidden things I'd like to point out. If you are highlighting a word...
See, it shouldn't take that long. You shouldn't have to try 2 or 3 times. The screen definitely is an issue.
And then click share. Now, as long as you're not logged into Facebook, this trick will work. Once you click share, there's a thing here called Help Center. It's hard to really see, but underneath the login button is a Help Center button. And if you click on that, you can access
That's the magic Nook thing, the address bar right there.
Yeah, the hidden Nook browser. So
they always make it hidden.
They do.
Why do they
Sometimes
always?
They patch it though.
Yeah.
Once more people start
finding it out.
Yeah.
They're like, darn, they found it out again.
So this is the e-reader in complete darkness and maximum brightness.
Yeah. So it doesn't have the different ways to turn it up and down like that. It's really just tap center screen, tap the top bar, and then you get the bar here. So this is about 75%, 50. Now it starts to get a little bit dark here and a little bit unreadable when you're in the lower ranges. So find that range that best suits you for your reading. Not so much that you want to wake your partner up in bed, but not so much that you can't see it.
Yeah. So I would probably say around the 75% mark.
Yeah, that's
is probably like most ideal.
That's nice. It's nice on the eyes too.
So this is what it's like reading in the dark. You can expect a pretty solid experience. You certainly don't encounter a lot of the big blue screen issues that we saw with previous generation Nooks.
Yeah, and the light distribution is actually quite good on this, end to end. The only thing we found is that there's a little bit of black puffing up top, but that's a minimal issue. It's just our job to nitpick, but honestly, it's a good distribution corner to corner.
So this is waterproof. And today we're going to actually submerge it in water so you can get a sense on how it performs.
My only concern is that there's no jacket or seal for the micro USB, and there's lots of gaps around this device. You fit your whole fingernail in there. So we'll see how it goes as I slowly submerge this. Oh, look, it's floating. That's awesome.
The Kobo H2O drops all the way to the bottom very easily. This actually floats.
So now the most important thing, does it work? No, it doesn't. It doesn't work at all.
So the Kobo H2O is also waterproof, and it actually lets you turn pages.
When you put it underwater, it actually automatically triggers a setting on your e-reader that says, you're underwater, would you like to use it underwater? You say yes, and it starts working no problem.
Yeah.
Whereas this... I'm just going to do a quick pat dry here. So now it works with the finger recognition and the capacitive. But when we're underneath...
Yeah, when you're fully underwater, it's not going to allow you to turn pages. You saw, like, it exited the book.
Yeah.
And went back to the home screen. So this will be a perfect e-reader to read in a bathtub or, on the beach or, if you're reading in a yard during the summertime and somebody turns on the sprinkler, it's not going to destroy the e-reader. So I think that this is a very excellent feature to the Nook family because you can use this in more environments than you could previous iterations. So this is an e-reader that's waterproof. The glow light's really solid. Reading ebooks is a pure joy. I like Nook readouts. The shop experience is solid.
Yeah.
The only thing is I wish that the e-reader was a little bit more responsive.
Yeah.
Feels a little bit sluggish at times.
I don't have too many complaints with the e-reader. It's got a nice build quality, nice texturing, decent screen size. I mean, they didn't go for the 6.8 or anything bigger. That's great, but the screen is... It's every occurrence, everything we do, every time we open it, every time we use it, every time we show something, there's something wrong. There's always something to be said. Oh, it's not working. I have to tap it again. Oh, it's not going home. It's not registering the back button, the top bar. There's always something wrong with the screen.
Yeah.
That's my only concern.
If you're just reading a normal ebook, this e-reader will be perfect.
Sure.
There's really no things that go wrong unless you're like long pressing and like sharing and making a lot of notes
or using
highlights.
a PDF.
Yeah, but if you're just reading like a book that you loaded in yourself, like in EPUB form, or you're just reading books that you purchased from Barnes & Noble, page turns are fast.
Yeah,
there's a lot of basic features here that I think will appeal to casual readers. I think this e-reader will definitely be a viable upgrade if you have the Nook Simple Touch, the Simple Touch with Glowlight, or even the Nook Glowlight that came out in 2013, the one with the weird plastic edges here. This feels like a very polished modern device, and it's what, like $129?
Yeah, USD.
So
it's not bad.
It's only available in the US, but don't let that scare you. If you live in Canada, if you live in the UK or Europe, you can use your credit card and your real billing address and purchase content from Barnes & Noble. So this is a viable e-reader outside of the US. Let us know what you think about this device and what we showed here today in the review. For Good E-Reader, my name is Michael.
My name is Peter.
Everybody take care.